Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Soul Work on this mystical, foggy, still Mercury retrograde, yet at the end of Mercury retrograde, but kind of mystical day going on here. Lots of unexpected things are happening all around us and in all areas. I'm your host, Jenny Cousins. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And we all know my co-host, Miss Kimberly Buckler.
Good evening.
She has a kind of good evening presence. It has to be like that more mystical good evening. You know, Flintstones, the cartoon, it had this kind of Mr. Magoo character on it. And he'd say, good evening.
That sounds like the Addams Family.
Oh, maybe.
Which TV show are we on?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, right.
I know. And we do indeed have a guest on tonight's show. And before I introduce her, we will indeed be taking calls from the viewers. And my guest will be staying the full 30 minutes. So absolutely take full advantage of her, Calgary, and give us a call because she'll also be answering questions for us too. And what is that phone number, Kim?
It is 403-539-6710.
Absolutely, Calgary. So when we take our short commercial break and when we come back, we will indeed be taking calls. And on tonight's episode, please welcome Tara Sue Moore. And thank you, Tara, for coming on the show.
Thank you very much, Jenny, Kim, for inviting me.
You're welcome.
I'm thrilled to be here.
Oh, it's an honor to have you here.
It is, yes.
Thank you.
Can you share with us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I am native to this area, and I have spent the last almost 2 decades living an insanely busy life. I've been a financial advisor, a stockbroker for years, and then about 10 years ago my life got turned upside down. And in an effort to cope with the life that I had chosen, I began pursuing an in-depth study, shall we say, of a fairly broad variety of metaphysical and esoteric practices and teachings and studies. And it's quite a story. It started with a stack of books from Self-Connection and the commitment that my life was going to change. And a decade later, my life is changing rapidly. It's exciting. I've learned things about myself that I would never have believed are possible. And these days, I just want to share it with the world.
Absolutely. Because your work is really good. That's why I wanted you to come on and, introduce your work more so with the viewers. Because I'm going to hold up just a couple of charts here, actually. They're aura chakra images. And if you could explain to our viewers what they are and, part of the work that you do with this, because it's very exciting.
Sure. This is one piece of what I have going out in currently, if you want to find me anchored, I'm out in Cochrane, but I am mobile with this unit as well. So this is my aura imaging system. And really what this does is reading off the meridian points in your hand. It reads the energies and the frequencies that your body is in and reflects that in a combination of graphs as well as the colors around you. And there's a significant body of both scientific research as well as intuitive work that goes into really understanding what each of these pictures is showing. And what we're learning very rapidly is really this reveals exactly what's going on inside someone's body. And it reveals as someone sits down and works how things change within the body.
Right. Right. Because I know you were mentioning too, if somebody, let's say, first come to see you and you took an image, and then let's say if you took another image of them, a little bit later, the energy is going to change. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Absolutely. I frequently find that when someone walks in the door from the world that we just have existing all around us that we walk in every day, they'll come in, we'll image their aura. Frequently, it's very flat, it's very closed at the top, it's not connected to the earth. It's often in a very stirred up sort of colors. I do see a lot of red that we tend to walk around carrying. And then I find that if I sit someone down and we just take a couple minutes and you start breathing, you start maybe doing some sound work, you do some singing, you do some connecting to the earth, you do some meditation. Really, we do whatever the voices that talk to me tell me we should do, that instantly the person's aura begins to change.
Right.
And then from there, the person gets a chance to really, or the individual really feels what they feel like when they're in what their vibrant, healthy colors are.
Okay.
Versus versus the way they're walking around on a daily basis.
Absolutely. So if somebody came in there, let's say really sad or upset, that energy is going to make a difference, right? So of course, you know, you feel better, you have a session with Tara, you know, and then your energy is going to shift, of course.
Yeah.
So your colors are going to, can you tell us a little bit about the colors, like what they represent?
Sure. For example, and all the colors, when they're vibrant and healthy, are beautiful and natural and powerful. So there's no better or worse colors. What's not good is when someone is carrying colors that are not their healthy color, if that makes sense. And when they're sort of dark and stirred up. Both of these are quite vibrant. So for example, someone who's carrying vibrant red around them would be very earthy, probably very physical, very capable of getting things done, very capable of interfacing with this reality. Someone who's naturally carrying a lot of blues, say, around them, and that's their natural color, is probably very healing, very gentle, likely very, very naturally connected to other people. Greens are often your teachers, your connection to nature. And I find the more energy work that someone does and the more they get used to working with energies, the more ability they have to shift their internal frequency at will. So really to shift into the colors that are going to be, or the frequency that is the most beneficial to allow you to do whatever it is that's in front of you in that moment.
Absolutely. That's fascinating.
It is. It's one little piece of what we're doing, but it really is. It's really fun to play with. It's fun to do a quick read, and it's fun to do an hour-long session. And I also love bringing the camera, say, to a workshop, and we image people when they arrive, and then we look at the end of the workshop to see what's happened and what journey each person has gone on.
So each person would get a chart like this?
At the beginning and at the end, depending on what session you are asking for. I also have up to about a 23-page report that we'll print that gives you a huge amount of information on going on behind the scenes.
Oh, really? That's great.
So it just depends what sort of a session you're coming in
I should go.
for. You should. I would love to have you.
I don't even know what's going to come up on that one.
Oh, interesting.
Kind of like being on your show. You just don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, good Lord, no.
Yeah.
So heart math is the core of your offerings. Can you explain what heart math is and how you offer it?
Yeah, I sure can. So over the past number of years, I've slowly but surely begun teaching a number of different workshops. And I sort of started from being a stockbroker. Then I explored way out to the other side of the consciousness field, doing a lot of journeying work, a lot of inner work. And then from there, just recently, I received guidance to really explore the heart math work. And to be honest, I actually thought the heart math would be a little boring compared to all this, what I perceived as exciting work I was doing. What I quickly learned, though, is the techniques that heart math teaches are extremely powerful, and they shift someone instantly into what I would call a healthy heart vibration or a healthy heart variability in a very simple manner that can reach out to anyone. So I looked inside and went, if my mission is really to be able to reach people and give them a first step towards change, a first step to stepping out of the dissatisfaction we live in, I better be less attached to how I do that and more attached to what will really work and reach a lot of people. So heart math is currently, I would say, the anchor and the core of what I'm teaching. And I'm teaching it out of Cochrane, and I'm also teaching it to any groups that are put together and called. And Heart Math is a group out of Stanford. They've got about 20 years now of scientific PhD level research. They've been written up in many cardiac journals, and they are scientifically linking beyond a doubt the state and the vibration that our heart is in affects every part of our body. It affects our emotional state, it affects our brain functioning, it affects our ability to communicate, our ability to access higher intuition. It affects our stress levels.
Absolutely.
Everything. So it's just the most powerful system I have yet run into.
So let's say if we wanted to come and book like a workshop with you, or have a one-on-one session, what is the best way for somebody to contact you?
So the best way to contact me is just through my website and through email, info@spiritofoneness.ca. And on the website at any given time, there will be several different a number of different workshops posted, including Heart Math. So go on to events, and
it'll come up.
It'll come right up on the events listing as far as what's scheduled.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, it's been, you know, like a lot of fun having you on. We could chat and chat and chat, but the good thing, Tara, is she is staying the full show, everybody. And we are going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we are definitely taking calls. And what is that number, Kim?
403-539-6710.
Still waiting for the home number every time. But we will be right back after this short message, Calgary. So hang in with us. We'll be right back.
You fill up my senses, come fill me again.
Fruits and veggies. They come in all shapes and sizes and add color and goodness to every meal and snack. So whenever you eat, include fruits and veggies and mix it up. For information and recipe ideas, visit fruitsandveggies.ca.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. For those of you who have just tuned in, I'm your host, Jenny Cousins, and this is Soul Work. And on this week's show, we do have a guest on, which is Tara Sumor. And we are just talking about auras and the work that she does. And we are now officially taking calls from the viewers. So what is that number, Kim?
403-539-6710.
So anybody, give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. And Tara can also answer, you know, any questions and concerns also that you may have about her work. So I was going to ask you, Tara, what really drew you into your work? Was there just kind of a shift, or were you kind of like intuitively wanting to change something, or?
I pretty much, actually, I'll quickly tell the story. I had a really rough summer about 5 years ago, was doing some energy work and really hit what I would call a rock bottom. And I made a decision that life was going to change, and I was not going to choose to live the rest of my life in the manner that I was. So I walked into self-connection books. I activated Reiki. I spent 2 or 3 hours figuring out which were the hottest books in the store.
By the hands.
By the hands. My hair was in my tight French braid. I was in my business power suit. I was coming out of the downtown office. And I left with a stack of books and just began reading. And those books led me on a journey. And when I realized a couple years ago how much my life had changed and how much fun I have, even when, you know, it's a tough day for whatever reason. From there, I just became rather compelled with the need to start to teach and share it in whatever manner might be there. There's thousands of different ways to change your life. So it's just releasing the fear that holds you back and stepping forward and changing. So my goal is just to help clarify vision and provide the first steps, whatever that may be.
Absolutely. And following your passion, what you're drawn into, because I get, you know, even certain people saying, "God, I have a passion to do this and this and that," and I, you know, and I tell them you should follow that, because that very well, you know, you have to do what you love, because, you know, you got to say, maybe that's why I'm here. You got to be who you are. You got to stay true to who you are and follow your passion, right? You know what I mean? Some of us can't do it full time, of course, so we have to have that balance, right? But then it can really lead into
Into that,
something
yeah.
that you love to do.
So
One,
our first caller is Dan.
Dan.
Sorry about that. Yeah, we
Hey.
got. Hi, how are you tonight, Dan?
I'm very well. How are you?
Good. And your question for us tonight?
Well, I'm just on the verge of a couple of years away from retirement, and I'm just contemplating what I'm going to do when I move into that phase of my life, and got a couple of ideas, and I'm just trying to determine if that's what I should be going for.
I actually see, the retirement obviously coming, of course, for you, right? And it's, even as I was just mentioning a few minutes ago, it's really important for you to follow your passion with your retirement, right? And I would follow it a lot more. I'm actually seeing like you as like a very kind of earthy person, but I'm also seeing you on like in a boat. Are you going fishing? Why are you by the water?
No, I'm pretty much landlocked, I'm afraid.
Okay, that's the earth part of it, but I'm seeing the real pull to the water for some reason. Yeah. Yeah, because the water also represents the emotions to even release even more passion and such like that.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you, Kim?
Just whatever it is, it'll keep you busy, but it'll also help to slow you down. And I think that's what, just a feeling that you need to slow down. But you said you had a couple of things you're interested in. Whatever it is, it'll slow you down, but you'll still be able to really enjoy yourself and still keep busy at the same time.
Mm-hmm. What were you planning on doing?
Actually, I wanted to write some children's books along the theme of a family and the exposure of the children to angels, and then sort of each book would be a different event or adventure where their angel intervened in whatever that happened to be.
You got my high five for that one.
yeah.
Yeah.
That would be beautiful.
Yeah, that's the passion right there. So it's very important to do that. Very important to do that, right? And the water, it does represent emotion. So even if you find, let's say, that you're having kind of like a stuck day where, you know, it's like, God, I want to write some more of this or that, but I'm kind of stuffed, go by the water, because the water represents calm energy, right? And it can really release more and more of that creativity, because that's what I said earlier, like the really earthy type person. But the water will help bring that out. So even by like Chestermere Lake or like water and anything really, like a large wadi. What about you, Tara? You're tuning in.
Yeah, and mostly into just the use of water. Water literally washes away. So washes away blocks, washes away fears. So trust the element of the water to do the work for you, and even just envisioning the water flushing through your body and washing away whatever it is that seems to be in the way. I mean, that applies to anyone.
Yes. When you call, when they said Dan, I kept on hearing Dan the man. Why is that? Why is that?
Well, I'm really not sure. I mean, I've obviously heard that at different points throughout my life. I mean, the work I do, I am the leader of a fairly large organization, I guess. So
yeah. So definitely follow your passion, right? And when you get stuck, right, absolutely go by the water, absolutely, because you'll be surprised. It's like a shift, you know. It's like that'll just kind of shake it out, right? It's like a meditation, absolutely. So yes, and that'll flow for you. That will flow for you.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And our next caller is Barbara. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Hi, how are you tonight?
I'm fine, thank you. And yourself?
Good. And your question for us?
Okay, I've been sort of stuck in a situation for about 2 years, and I feel that things are starting to change. I'd like to know whether you see, or what direction you see me going in, or what?
Well, it depends what direction you want to go in, right? Because we're the only people that can make changes within ourselves, right? Your situation will stay the same as long as you want it to. When you're completely ready to take that step to make some changes, you will. You really could move forward in a big way. I keep on seeing April 7th being circled for some reason. So if you really, really want to make a move, you really want to make a change, let's say, right? Really work on this right now, because we're still in the Mercury retrograde. It ends officially today or tomorrow, but we still have 2 weeks of lingering energy still going on with it, right? And that will still work with us, right? So April 7th, the first week of April, you're going to start to see things might even shift a lot more for you, right? But I keep on hearing 3 more years with something. What else are you doing? 3 more years with something. It's like it's almost going to take 3 years with a different project altogether to get that going. It's not what you're currently stuck in now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And it has something to do with a house or something, or a move with that.
Oh.
But it's almost like 2 more years what you're doing, and then another 3 with bringing in the new.
Oh, 2 more years the same, and 3 years bringing in the new. Okay.
Yeah. And, I totally confused.
Yeah.
Totally confused you. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
As soon as you started talking, I just got this weird gut feeling where, you know, when we want to go forward and we expect everybody else to go forward with us, we can't have those expectations for everybody to follow us. You need to follow what you're being drawn to.
Yeah.
And if we expect someone to join us in that journey and they're not ready, it's just that weird feeling.
Yeah.
You just got to let go of that expectation. This is for yourself.
Yeah, yeah, because you could really shift it a lot quicker, right? Because the 7th is like what I keep on telling you, because if you don't shift it, it might even take another couple of years for you to shift it and break loose of that energy and break loose of it altogether, right?
Okay.
So it's like when we have certain opportunities to take it, it's like we got to grab a hold of that energy and really move forward with it. But you can only do that when you're ready.
All
right? Yeah, we can't force somebody to do something when they're not ready, right?
Okay. Well, that gets me a little bit confused.
Are you, a silly question, are you on your own?
Yes.
Okay. With when we want to do something and we want to go forward, we need to do it. Say for myself in the holistic field, I realized I had to go forward for myself to go into this, to learn about what I'm learning about, and I couldn't expect anyone else to be alongside with me, or I learned I didn't need to get the approval of other people. So when you're going forward, you made some awesome changes in the last 2 years. Just now let go of any other expectations people have around you. This, you're doing this for you.
All right.
It'll click. It'll click.
Yeah, it will click actually, because it's like you have to, have some type of a focus what you want to do.
Yeah. Well, I'm
to take that shift.
Right. Well, I have a focus of what I would like to do.
Okay.
But I don't know whether I'm really cut out for it.
You are cut out. That's what we're trying to say, right? You have to be ready for it to do it, and you're not going to know if you're not going to want to do it or if you're going to want to do it until you take those steps. So that's why it's like you really could move forward, the 7th of April, because if you don't, it could take a couple of more years, for you to take that leap, because procrastination. There you go, right?
And let go of the expectations.
Yeah.
If you let go of the expectations, the door's going to open a lot farther.
Absolutely. You have to be ready. You have to be ready, right?
Right.
And I'm just getting the words, Barbara, that you have the choice to take the step,
Okay.
but the choice. So it's
Yes.
making the choice inside.
Yeah, and let the fear go of it.
Let the fear go. Okay. This is what I'm really working on.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're trying to
So
say.
this is the magic of heart math.
Absolutely. Because fear will hold us back. Fear stands for false evidence appearing real, right? It's like, oh my God, I'm too scared to do this. I'm too scared. What's going to happen? What's going to happen, right? So then we're putting all the illusions into our mind with certain things. So it's all about, just doing it, just taking that step and just saying, I'm doing it. That's the only way you're going to know, right? Because if not, it will progress. And you'll be stuck, and 2 years from now, you'll be looking back and saying, you know, I wonder if I would have done this, or if I should have changed that. And it continues. That's why there's no movement. That's why there's no, you know, taking those steps forward. We just have to do it, and you'll be okay. But we have another caller already, and we appreciate you calling in, Barbara. Yes, thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Our next caller is Teresa. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, your question for us tonight.
Yes, hello. Hello.
Hello.
I have a question, if I may. My father is overseas, and he's not doing. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah. He's fading in and out. He's actually your father is back and forth, in the spirit form in here. Why is that?
Question, may I?
Yes.
Should I go? Because I feel like
Yes.
I should be going.
You should go.
Maybe March,
You should go.
April, May, June, July. When do you feel I should go?
I think that you should actually go here, honestly, right away. I would really actually book a ticket within the next couple of weeks, right? And, you know, especially whenever we have that gut instinct that, you know, I should go see this person, or I should go see that person, you know, something's telling me to go. So you should go, and the sooner the better, to be very honest with you, because I'm feeling the lingering in and out with him. Right? To be honest with you.
And you don't see a good ending?
Well, you know, I never, ever, ever say when somebody's going to pass on. That's up to the person's soul, the soul group, you know, and God to decide. Right? You know, we're all here for a certain time frame period. So it's, you know, it's going to be soon, you know.
Yeah, your father's in his 80s, 90s, isn't he? Hello?
Hello?
Correct. Yeah.
Hello, Barbara?
Correct.
Teresa?
Yeah, absolutely.
Your father, he's in his
Yes,
80s,
he
90s?
is.
Okay, so he's had a very, very good life. This will give you the chance to...
Yes, he is.
Yeah. So then it's a good time to go visit.
Yeah.
Good time to, you know, just share
Clear
with
the air.
them and
Yeah.
the gratitude.
Okay. Yes. And I'm already actually getting the wrap-up call. I don't mean to cut you off, right? But I would make that, you know, I would go book a flight immediately and go see him.
Thank you.
I
May
would.
I
You're very
say
welcome.
just thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And I want to thank my guest, Tara
Thank
Sue Moore,
you.
for coming on tonight's show. It's always a pleasure, absolutely. And I would definitely check out her website and go see her. And of course, my co-host, Miss Kimberly Buckler. And I am your host, Jenny Cousins. And thank you again, everybody, for tuning in on Soul Work. We will be live again next Wednesday evening, Channel 10, 6:30. Good night, everyone. Take care.